Hello there guys, so this is an Aatrox versus Camille guide, right? It takes really a lot of skill to win this matchup, to beat this champion in lane, right? Let's check what does one of the best Chinese player uh, do against the Camille player, right? Okay, camera in here, like that. Okay. Here the matchup begins, you know, he has general SD shield in here, second wind, bomb plating, one of them, both of them are correct against Camille. Then he begins with the laning phase, you can see I'm gonna turn on my epic pen as well. You can see he steps up, he tries to pressure a little bit, right? He tries to... Okay. Okay, let's see if the epic pen turns on really quick, right? So most of the people don't know why he does this, right? So he's moving front and back because he's playing around Camille's W, right? He's trying to bait it out, so if her W is baited out, then he can bully her as much as possible, right? So that's what he's trying to do. Also, he's looking for a Q opportunity. Or maybe perhaps an empowered auto attack from passive, right? So he's stepping up, right? He's showing his aggression, because here's the thing, Aatrox's auto attack has 225 range. Camille's auto attack has 125, so you can really easily swing in an auto attack, then space back with Aatrox, and then she might not be able to auto attack you back, right? Now I think this was kind of a mistake from his part. He was queuing twice the wave, which unnecessarily pushes the wave, and he could barely chip down her HP, so I think this Q angle is a bit bad. Unless if he actually wants to push, right? So his jungler push comes actually is pathing upwards. Maybe he's pushing for priority for Scuttle Scrap, right? But I think it could be possibly angled a little bit better. No? Let's look at it. See it again if it was possible, right? In fact, I would just initiate with my auto attack if I can, because then he will reset his passive faster with his Qs, right? So that's a bit better from my opinion. And when she's stepping up to last, she could really easily go for that, I assume, right? He procced her bomb plating, right? Good thing is oh, watch out on this one, right? So he actually you can see visually that he timed his Q to the Camille last hit, right? So two things can happen. He's either zoning away the Camille from the last hit, or he's damaging her, right? So in here he kinda gave an ultimatum to Camille, right? Okay. Now in here he went for an auto attack trade just so that he procs Camille's shield. I think it's a bit bad, because until he can do anything with that, we'll be most likely at level 2. Level 2 he can do something with the fact that Camille has no shield, but that auto trade while Camille has grasp up, I think it's a bit bad, honestly. I think probably he shouldn't go for that. Okay. Now he's CSing, and in here he will do a slight mistake. He won't he will get level 2 cheese because he's not watching out on the minions HP, right? I think he's really looking to poke so much with his Q that he forgot the fact that Camille has an XP lead, and now in one minion she will get level 2, so it's actually really dangerous to even step up to her, because she can just E to the wall, step up, E to the wall, E into Aatrox because he hasn't got E up yet, and then she will get an insane trade on Aatrox, right? Yep, as I said. So in these small details we gotta really watch out, because this actually can happen in a real game to us as well, right? So then he gets cheesed, he of course Qs, so as soon as she sees Camille charging into him, he Qs that, because it means that this Q is not cancelable, so even if he sees it, that Q will go up, so definitely a good thing to react to CC with your own Q, right? Now in here he gets into a fist fight with Camille. I mean, probably he shouldn't even try to fight her, but at least she got like a sort of decent trade, right? Now he's sustaining slowly with the potion, right? It's kind of a bummer that he got level 2 cheese. Meantime, the enemy Kindred is pathing upwards as well. The reason why Kindred is pathing upwards, maybe you guys didn't see from my camera, but Camille was in lane, which means she didn't leash, and Kindred probably got a double leash from bot lane, which allows her either to level 2 invade the enemy jungler at Gromp, which is possible, or either just to path upwards towards Aatrox, right? Okay. Okay, so Camille wastes 3. Okay.
要清掉一点点血。
Now he's streaming a little bit the wave, so he gets his level up a tiny bit faster before Kindred arrives. He's even hard pushing right now because he's low-key afraid possibly of a Kindred dive, so he wants to get to level 3 before Kindred appears. And now he's kind of in danger from a possible Kindred gank, right? So Camille will possibly use herself as a bait. He doesn't know, and he has cooldowns also, so that he was really clean, by the way. It was really well reacted from his part, right? Definitely well reacted. He tried to punish his Q, but let's stop it. He goes in with the second Q, really well played. Oh my god, that was so well played as well. Look at the auto attack. Look what he does in here, right? So Camille has the range from the empowered auto. Like, look how he's moving back forward until he outranges the Camille, and just auto attacks him, then backs off under tower because Camille can't go deeper anymore. It was extremely well played from his part. He's even like destroying her bomb plating right now because she's auto attacking the minion, so he will punish him. Also he's under tower, so for autoing her he won't be punished, right? Also he's trying to bait out her passive to be procced, right now. And he of course outranges Camille by auto attack range, so often you can just swing in on auto attack and leave.
又吵起来，我的妈呀！
So now Camille is in an awkward spot, right? Because if Kindred is not coming up on top lane, she will suffer from a slow push. And possibly right now Camille, I mean, doesn't know that she is under vision. And in here Aatrox just all-ins, right? With his second Q he can... Oh, he couldn't cancel, So she's desperately pushing right now, but most likely he will just try to hold the wave for the slow pushes. Okay. And here he's slowly pushing. Camille greets for some reason. She doesn't think that he just doesn't care. Extremely well played from his part. Really good Q layering in there. We can see he queued after Q, so even if she tries to E away, she will be knocked up, right, or pulled back by his W. He really well chained up those Qs, right? Even though Kindred was around, he was well aware of the risk because most likely what's gonna happen if Camille doesn't disengage it, she would die to the third Aatrox Q, so there wasn't really like a particular danger, right? Because the Camille doesn't even place with flash, so we can't really say that she's baiting. Oh, she actually plays with flash, but I do believe she has got it there. Okay, so he gets his whip, it's refillable, classic purchase. It's an extremely good purchase for him, right? 30 AD, the activatable, refillable, definitely extremely good purchase, right? Now at some point of the game, of course, Camille will outscale Aatrox, but that's why you should aim to punish her as much as possible. Beyond like level 3, level 2 ideally. Your level 1 is like whatever against Camille, so you can't punish her at any point of the game, but in the early mid game you should definitely try to punish her, put her behind. Otherwise she will just outscale you at certain point, right, which you don't really want to. He goes for a Q, right? He missed it, and he will go for a third Q. Perfect. So perfect. Now he ults. Chat, he ults. Now many people wouldn't commit to it. Many people would just leave the kill, right? Why does he ultimate, right? So in here, let's talk about his extremely well played QC goal fan, right? Let's talk about his all-in as well, right? Let's go a tiny bit forward in here, right? We are in the lane, right? And in here he tried to go for a second Q, but Camille just outdistanced, outspaced it, right? And in here, third Q, perfect, so you should always counter her E by your Q. Two things can happen, you either cancel her E, or from the other hand, what can also happen, you just knock her up after the... And in here he commits, right? Here he commits, but Camille is quite healthy, right? The reason for that he commits because Camille has no ultimate yet, right? And she has no E, remember, right? So it means she can't realistically disengage. Also he gets like level 6 from this minion, which Camille didn't really expect, right? So she gets like level 6 cheese, and he got level 2 cheese, right? So Uh, and in here he commits, she has no shield, she has no E, right? Which means he has the W and he has the ultimate, right? Which means that he will slow him with the W, auto attack her continuously, and then she will be pulled back, right? So here's the thing, he got the whip, right? He got the ultimate, right? Which means if he ults, he gets 152 damage on hit, which is a lot, right? On auto attacks. Aside of that, he stacks up Conqueror slowly for even more damage, right? So in here he tried to force something, but I think it's completely fine what he went for, because if he doesn't ulti, right? Even if he doesn't kill, it's not really about killing necessarily, right? So if there he doesn't ult, Camille would be way more healthy, which means she would be less diveable, right? So just because he ulted and took so much HP down of Camille, right? Now she's diveable, right? So if he wouldn't commit with this ult, she would have something like this HP or a bit more, right? A tiny bit more if shield regens, of course, right? And he committed, really good commit, and basically now she's really easily diveable with Echo or possibly without him, right? So now Camille will most likely reset, most likely she won't really try to greed. Now he's getting some plates, but if he doesn't ult, he wouldn't get plates, right? He wouldn't deny all of these minions, he will deny one or two waves, right? So all of those things wouldn't happen if he doesn't ult, right? So it's really important to recognize, yes, you won't kill someone with your ultimate as Aatrox, but you will force them to reset, which means, see, he's even proxying, really smart from his part, probably he knows where the enemy jungler is. If he doesn't, then he might just die. This is a thing you can do if you on your own risk. It's really rewarding if the enemy jungler is not around. If you know for a reason that the enemy jungler camps are not up on top side, then possibly he won't be there, or if you see him somewhere on the map, maybe Drake is up, people are fighting over, then you know, you can calculate the risk, right? And now, since he ulted, Camille is level 5 still, right? Camille can fight him, even though Aatrox has no ignite, no ult, right? He's trying to, oh, he cancels it. He couldn't cancel, sadly, yeah. So now he tried to proxy him, but Camille C is just really good when it's really hard to proxy a Camille if you don't cancel her, which is like kinda hard, right? Let's see if there was like anything he could do more correctly, but I don't think so, right? So he initiates with Q. He moved in here instead of like forward, I assume, right? Then he couldn't, yeah, it's not much. Not much, but he still got 2 plates, right? Perhaps, if I think about it. I mean, one thing I can think of, if he didn't take like both plates, only one, then he could be more deeper when it comes to proxying her, right? Could be something like this, so it's harder for her to get back to lane, but if he sees Aatrox being there, she just goes all the way around, so it's not likely the proxy gonna happen, right? It's really hard to, like, the only way he proxies if he cancels her E, right? He could also probably initiate with W in here, as I feel like, no? Then she would be stagnated in her W, and she would be forced to W, then he can Q after, he can Q after her, right? But I guess like it's really something I'm overthinking right now. I think really well also she had boots, because I think she was outrunning the Aatrox. So in here he's greeding for more plates, but oh, what does she? She has level 5 though, like what? Oh, that's why. Yep. And that's why it's like really questionable if you wanna proxy, right? Because a Camille is kinda hard to proxy. Like it's difficult to, like, her E is so fast, it's really hard to cancel it, right? Maybe the first part it's a bit easier, but it's hard, right? So in general, I do believe with most of the champions it's bad to proxy a Camille, right? It just because her E, right? Like, and she also gets Q speed and the shield, so he could just really easily Q Aatrox, get the speed, get the shield, and E out. So it's really difficult to ever do it. So I wouldn't risk it, right? Like, definitely it's really hard to do that. But if it would be any other champions, like whatever, like Garen, Darius, if you beat him, like any type of low mobility champions that you're gonna really likely zone away from the tower, then definitely it can be definitely a good play. Like, I don't say it's bad at all, right? Okay. So he went for a really good under tower trade, we can see, right? We already saw, like, this is just a straight up Aatrox combo. Now usually there's one thing I don't really like to do on Aatrox, but you can do it if you feel like you're just gonna end the trade with it. You can W someone. Usually it's better to W Camille after her E, because if you W her, she will just most likely try to E away. Then you're like in a shitty spot. So. Okay, he's now picking up the plate. He's out. Oh, he couldn't react. I think in there he honestly could all. Yeah, he's all inning. He's auto attacks, right? Really important to watch out he auto attacks. He doesn't Qs, right? Because Camille, it's harder for. Like Camille could just ult that, right? But if she ults, then he can time his auto attack when Camille arrives out of her ultimate to her Qs, to her ult, I mean, right? But yeah, like you can see his confidence, you know, like he plays with a lots of confidence with his plays, with his movement, right? And one thing I do quite often like these Aatrox gameplay reviews, so although like I'm not really like big fan of the champion or anything, it's just like so it comes, you know. Okay. And he takes his recall. Oh, actually he's trying to cheese her again, right? What he could also do, he could try to pick up the enemy camps. Oh, she TP'd. Or now he recalls, he's not even trying to go back, otherwise he will be hunted by Kindred and by the Camille, so he just takes the safe reset, right? Now he sold his refillable, of course. Now he has his core drinker. Okay. I'm actually gonna turn off my camera from now, cause it's like not really. It's really dark in my room. Okay.
20秒大招，千玉有大这个不好说。
Now she got bush cheese, right? It's really good to bush cheese people as Aatrox, especially if you have a big advantage, right? So many people would just walk, like many people, what lots of Aatrox players would do, they would walk to lane, and they would just, they wouldn't try to like bush cheese something like this, they would just walk autopilot, walk into Camille, try to poke her. You can also do this to many things. It's more important against range matchups. I'm not sure if he got spotted in here honestly, but he could go like all the way, right? I'm not like he could even E through this, then his E would be up on rotation, that would be safer. I'm not sure if he got spotted here. Possibly he didn't. Possibly. And now in here, like, it's better, usually it's better to do it against champions like Teemo, but it's good against any champions if you are ahead, right? It's good to cheese anybody from a bush, right? Goes in for with the classic W, all that, right? Okay, and he's autoing Camille. Even though she gets her empowered auto on Aatrox, he's autoing her because he has a lot of sustain from Gordrinker, he heals on his auto attack, so you like if you go for even trades with Aatrox, that's really good because you're a lane bully, right? And you're gonna heal a lot from like damaging with your abilities from minions, right, with Gordrinker, so that Q was, that flash was really well played also from his part, right? He's really confident Aatrox player, right? Watch out on his clicks as well, really important, how he's moving, how he's queuing and all that, right? Okay, he wins. He commits to the fight. Okay, he's winning it. Oof, Kindred. So in there he was like low-key thinking to get into the bush or fight her, but he chose to fight her, right? And now he's getting back into the bush out of Kindred's vision, and look, watch out what he does, right? He Gordrinker autos, Qs, she's dead. She's just dead. Now he just takes his reset. Or I'm not sure why did he walk all the way. Maybe he was afraid of. Oh, maybe he was afraid of Camille, right? Yeah, definitely. He buries 3 longswords. Okay. Could also simply go for plated steel caps. It's really good against both Camille and Kindred, but it's fine, I suppose, right? He values damage when he's ahead, he values damage over defensive stats, and that's totally fine, right? It's totally fine. if he feels like he wants to like beat Camille really hard, he could also go for Ionian boots, but that's like a thing I like to go on Aatrox. It allows you to get a lots of Qs and all that, but it's not a thing that's necessary to go
打野
for.
一个红橙直接顶
It really helps you when you're ahead in lane, because you can like bully a lot with the cooldown itself, and if you have like ignite, then it's really good to get the
感觉他还要来
cooldown reduction on sums, right? Oh, I'm not sure what's wrong with this Camille. She commits every time into the fight. By the way, there's like one general mistake I noticed. He doesn't really likes to cancel the Gold Drinker animation with his Q. For example, in here, he doesn't always like Gold Drinker Qs. I think he Q Gold Drinkers, which is like a slight problem. For example, every time you can Q Gold Drinker if Camille is in range, or I mean Gold Drinker Q, then you cancel the Gold Drinker animation basically. She's dead. Kindred tries to force a gang, but most likely it won't happen because he's just so ahead, right? He even like moved with his E towards the Kindred's movement, right? So when you Q, you always got to watch out on the enemy champion's movement and E accordingly, right?
我打青钢影胜率一般都很高，只要我不犯错，对面基本没机会打得过。
Okay, now he's picking up the Kindred camps. No, there are no camps. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. It's a bit unfortunate. Oh, he's getting black. Oh, Cheryl does scratch. Okay, he's going really offensive. Going offensive, he doesn't really want Camille to scale anywhere, right? Okay. I mean, Dead Dance is a totally fine option because they don't have too much armor, but Camille stacks some level of armor, and the slow is insanely good against Camille because you can stick to her really easily. I think she's a bit tilted. She's a bit tilted. She has 63 armor, right? He tried to cancel, but yeah, it just didn't happen. But at least she zoned herself away from her own wave. Now he can get some damage on the tower, of course. At this point of the game I would just get Farsight on Aatrox or maybe a control ward. So because if he's looking really aggressively to push, he could use Farsight or ward like this area, right? He could ward the blue or around this area so people don't collapse on him too easily because he has like 0 vision right now. He uses to reset actually, okay. He gets his Shirilda's Grudge, insane power spike item. Since everything is missing on the map, he doesn't really wants to force anything, right? So he generally just goes... Yeah, he goes actually Farsight. So he knows that he gonna like hard split push, right? And the reason for that he hard split push because the enemy team has like a lots of mobility and it's really hard to catch up to them, to deal with them. So he chooses to... Well, he chooses to fight a Camille that's like already 1-4, you know, like what can she do, right? She can't probably do much, so that's also a reason as well, right? At the FGL force on Caitlyn, mobility from Lulu, soon she has Shurelia. So yeah, that will put Aatrox, like Aatrox will be really bad in team fights. Even throw against Camille, usually you wanna team fight over side laning, but since he's this ahead, he just doesn't care side. He's just brute forcing an all in here because he's just so ahead. So he doesn't have to play perfectly anymore, right? He can just simply like brute force an all in and that's like totally fine. Okay, now he's camping for the Caitlyn possibly. Let's see what he does. He takes the wolves. Yep. Auto attacks, picks up the wolves. It's a bit... Okay. Control ward is to make switch. I don't think so, he should recall, eh? Caitlyn is coming, yeah? Okay, he just picks the Caitlyn up, yep. Sometimes I notice he doesn't like to go drinker in between his combos for some reason. Takes like a lot of button smashing, I guess. It's like a tiny small mistakes he often does. He doesn't go drinkers to push a wave, or in some fights he doesn't like cancels animations with go drinker, right? Maybe he was skipping Gordrinker for like a more important fight where healing is valuable because he already knew that he gonna kill the enemy champion, so if somebody is collapsing on him then he has Gordrinker to heal up, I suppose. Maybe there is a world where he was thinking of that, I suppose. Because he had enough damage against Caitlyn without Gordrinkering, so maybe he was thinking to keep it against like better targets. Because he was full HP, right? So maybe that was his thought process.
发现打这游戏不要管队友，不要太在意他们，越在意他们，自己越痛苦。
Okay.
哇，太难了，打这个峡谷之类的，你优势你还不能笑。我相反觉得其他区域的人可爱一点。
Okay, we pick these up.
至少
He
其
just
他区
picks
的
up the
人，
CS.
他可能玩的不是很厉害，但至少他不会一死了就打自己，你怎样你怎样，你这波你这波怎么样，至少不会这么干。
He misses. Probably should ban ult from the beginning, right? Okay. Picks up the Lulu. Really bad play from his part. Just keep going. He just commits, you know. Just commits into these fights, you know. He doesn't like shies out. He doesn't shies out at all, right? Now he's he keep going, right? He has Shield as Grudge, right? Why would he back off, right? He can go for multi-kills really easily.
谢谢符号送的半卡，谢谢符号的半卡。
Now he picks up his, let's see what he goes that dance, right? Goes some magic mental. He's actually waiting for Mercury threat, so he has like a bigger purchase, right? He got his purchase. Alright, so now he is patting. Where is he patting towards? In here he can do whatever he wants to. He can side lane, he can team fight, like anything is completely fine.
我都把他们屏蔽了，我还夸他们，太需要了。要队友夸你干嘛？
He's just getting multi-kills, right? And here it's really important to watch out what he does, right? So he intentionally didn't Q, so when here comes the Victor W, right? He didn't stop to auto attack, he didn't stop to Q, right? Because he could be stunned, right? He just walked, he kept walking, you know, he just kept walking, right? So he doesn't get stunned, so he gets the Caitlyn kill as well, right? That's really important to just first of all try to walk through it, then try to basically fight, right?
快点结束，快点结束！我现在特别不开心。
Oh, he got killed, but not sure what he wants to get. Maybe Anathema chain, or I don't think so, right? I think he just brought it just for the health stats, probably, right? Not exactly sure what he wants to get out of it. Oh my god, that Leona ult was extremely well played. Right. Now he just picks up every bit of kill, and from in here the outcome of the game is just really one-sided, right? From this point of the game, just everything slowly ends, right? Yep, from in here the game is just really one-sided, right? So basically he's just slowly ending, right? He chooses to side lane, you know, like in here he can do whatever he wants, so he can team fight, he can side lane, none of them are incorrect. But for the reason that the mid inhib is open, he wants to open up every inhibitor, he wants to open up bot, mid, top. Now he rotates away because he has no vision where the whole enemy team is, so he just chooses to not to greed because he has his Randuins. He does not have to die in here for no reason, so he chooses the safe play, right? Because the whole enemy team could be really easily around. Just because Camille was the only person that was showing top side, right? Okay. Now let's see what happens in here. We are just slowly ending, probably, right? Yep, we are just slowly ending. Okay, now he's committing completely to this fight. Yep. Just picking up like the game's over from this point, right? This is like how to dominate like a Camille as Aatrox, right? Really well played, really well played for this one.
前面还有大，不然穿。
Alright, so that's it for now.